And it's just so much more interesting when you're right here in the country where it all happened. You get to soak it all in. It's just the best way, I think, to learn about it and to experience it in person. Oh, 5:30 in the morning. I don't even know how we're alive right now. We just caught a bus to Hiroshima overnight. I think we only got 4 hours of sleep on the bus, and now we have to try to find the hostel we're staying at. Oh man, haven't done one of those in a while. Good morning guys, and we have now finally woken up and we have traveled 320 odd kilometers west overnight on a night bus, and we have finally made it to Hiroshima. I was definitely struggling this morning, haven't caught one of those night buses in a while, but it was for good reason, because the main way to get to Hiroshima from the main cities of Kyoto and Tokyo and the like is to catch a Shinkansen, but the overnight bus only cost us 70 bucks, so a big saving there, saved $90 each, only that it took 8 hours overnight. The only other thing is it was a last minute thing that we decided, so we did pay for our accommodation last night. But if you do these things and catch overnight buses, you save on accommodation. That's like the best part of it. The thing I love about Japan is no matter what you're catching, a tram, a monorail, a bus, a train, you can pay for everything on this Pasmo card. This is the one we've had from day one, and it is just so easy. Don't have to like pay cash, don't have to get different cards, just beep, 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 everywhere you go.
And you can use it for vending machine too.
A vending machine?
Yeah.
For food?
The drinks.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
There you go. Food hack around Japan, guys. Convenience stores like 7-Eleven and Family Mart. We spent 400 yen each. So for all the rice, onigiri, plus a drink, it's like less than $6 each. Winning. So we are now at Peace Memorial Park, and right in front of the atomic bomb dome, and we are just gonna make our way up and through the site around here. Now behind me here is the building now known as the A-bomb dome. This atomic bomb was dropped by the Americans in 1945, just at the end of World War II, and it wiped out 80,000 people, 90% of the population around this entire neighborhood. Now the only reason the remains of this building stands is it was dropped pretty much directly on top of it, 600 meters in the sky. Can you believe that? 600 meters up in the air, it exploded and it just wiped everything out. So here behind me is the Children's Peace Monument, and it is dedicated to all the kids who died in the atomic bomb. It was originally inspired by a story of a little girl called Sadako Sasaki. She was 2 years old when the bomb dropped, and 10 years later developed leukemia and sadly passed away from it. Now ringing the bell with a paper crane inside symbolizes building peace in this world. So we have now just walked across the park and have made it to the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum, which is the main thing to do and see in this place. Now this museum was built in August 1955, just a short 10 years after the bomb exploded. But yes, it's probably timing that we got here now because the sun's burning my skin. It is so hot today, so let's head on in and hope you guys enjoy the B-roll of this place. Apart from doing the fun adventurous stuff, the hiking and the diving, learning about the history, ancient and modern history about the country is something that I enjoy doing as well. And the interesting thing for me is just how everything ties, when you've been to a few countries, I went to Hawaii, went to Pearl Harbor, that's linked in to World War II. I've been to Germany and read about the whole Hitler story. And after World War II, the Cold War, the tension between the US and Russia with nuclear weapons, and other significant historical events like Pol Pot in Cambodia when I went to the killing fields in Phnom Penh. And it's just so much more interesting when you're right here in the country where it all happened. You get to soak it all in. It's just the best way, I think, to learn about it and to experience it in person. So it's 3 o'clock now, so I think we spent about 2 hours there, which is pretty much enough time for something like this. And it's time for lunch, and we are gonna have it in our next destination, which is Miyajima Island. So let's get going. We are now on a short 10-minute ferry to Miyajima Island. It's 4:30 now and it is glorious. Such a nice warm afternoon. The sun is still beaming and it's just nice to be out here on the sea. Just about transportation in Hiroshima, we weren't aware that you can buy a day pass on the tram and the ferry, and that's 840 yen. A few trips on the tram for about 100 to 150 yen. On this ferry is 181 ways, so 360 for a round trip. So it would be a bit cheaper if you bought that day pass, but even if you didn't and you did it like us, then you'd only spend a few hundred yen more. So here is a model of Miyajima Island. This is where we are now, and this is the main thing to see. But if you're keen on other temples, then there's a few around and even walk up into the forest. We have now made it to one of the most photographed, most Instagrammable, most beautiful sites in all of Japan. It's Sagushima Shrine. Woo. Beautiful shit. What the hell is this? Craps. This is one of those moments where it's expectations versus reality. Well, we did know it was under construction. It's under construction until mid next year or something, but we decided to come here anyway. But this is where you would be taking the photo from the other side with a bit of water rather than low tide. This is like the worst conditions to be taking the photo right now. So nothing like what it's supposed to look like, but we're here anyway at the worst time possible. Bit of a shame, but we've seen a lot of amazing things in Japan, so not too disappointed. Just happy to be here pretty much. So I guess we're just gonna hang around until the sun sets. Unfortunately, it's so windy, I won't be able to fly Mav, but that's alright. We're also gonna have dinner on the island and then make our way back to the hostel. Yeah! So the food in Miyajima is known for three things: the oysters, the naga eel, and the momiji maju. But tonight we are having
Fried oysters.
and the curried oysters. Yum. Bon appetit.
Itadakimasu.
Alright guys, that's it for today. Awesome day out, exploring Hiroshima and getting to know a little bit about Japan's modern history. Just back at the hostel now for our only night here, and tomorrow morning we head off again to a brand new place. We spent a little bit to get here, you know, the overnight bus this morning, plus we have to catch a Shinkansen back to Osaka for our flight. But it was well worth the day trip, so highly recommend to make the effort to come out here to learn about Japan's history, particularly Hiroshima and the events that occurred around this area. But anyway, that's it for me for today guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.